Kathy and Kitty here to say pop culture fun in every way. Music, TV, movies, oh so bright. Join us for a blast tonight. Sister and brother rocking the flow, sharing all the things you need to know. Kathy and Kitty always in the mix. Pop culture fun fix to fix. Pop culture kids podcast crew. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone. Simple for everyone. I brought some for everyone. Pop culture kids podcast crew. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kitty make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture with Kathy and Kenny, the Pop Culture Kids.
Welcome. We are back for another edition of Pop Culture Kids with your host coming to you from the north and the south, me from North Carolina, Kenny from South Jersey. How are you this Sunday, my brother? Welcome to
I am
November.
doing welcome to November. November is the best month of the year because
Oh
it's my
my
birthday
goodness.
month.
Why?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh
I'm going to be
my.
celebrating all month.
Okay.
This is my last year of the 50s coming up.
Oh wow. Yikes.
I'll be 59. It's my last year of the 50s. And then
Hold on to those
next year is the
50s.
60s. Yes. I look
yes.
good for look at
You
you.
do. I
These are
know. I'm
different
playing
angles
with this.
coming at different angles and everything. Being all
I am
new and
playing
everything.
with the angles. I got 3 of my cameras set up, so I am having some fun with the angles.
I got one camera. You're looking at it.
No, you know what? I have a couple of these cameras, these action cameras. So I just kind of set up my Insta3 as a kind of behind the scenes kind of, so you can see how the sausage is made. And you know, I got my one monitor here. I don't know. You can see the other monitor over here. Let's see. Yep, there's the other monitor. Plus,
how the sausage is made.
I'm also watching it on the TV on the big screen. Look at some of my lights. So yeah, we're getting to see how the sausage is made.
I would show you. I would show you where I am. I'm in my room, and I did make up my Batman bed. So,
so there's that.
There's that.
Oh man. So I have to tell you, it is November, and there was this thing that used to be called the National Novel Writers Month, and it was NaNoWriMo, NaNoWriMo. So it was this whole thing where I talked about it a little bit, but I've been actually trying to do it, and the goal is to write like 1,500 words. That is so hard. I've done it for 2 days now, and I'm just barely at 1,500 words. But there's a story I wanted to tell, and I realized I don't know enough details to tell it, but I'm working it all out because I can't decide whether I want it to be a novel or whether I want it to be a play.
That's a stretch.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear like the premise of it?
Yeah, let me hit. I'm intrigued. Let me hear the premise.
Well,
I'm
again,
invested now. Let me hear the premise.
okay, because and here's part of my problem too is there is research I have to do, and I haven't done the research. But basically, it revolves around Jackie Wilson. So I was gonna call it Jackie Wilson said, like the Van Morrison song. Anyway, I digress. I digress. Anyway, um, but basically, like Jackie Wilson, infamously had a stroke while on stage. Which I guess if you're a performer, that's kind of how you want to go, right? I guess
Yeah.
when you're performing, when you're at the peak of your game. But he had this stroke at a place called the Latin Casino. Now, if you're in South
Oh, right
Jersey,
here in Jersey. Yeah.
yeah. And anyway, I think the last years of his life, he wound up for like the last 8 years being in a coma. And I think he had the stroke like in the 70s, and I believe he died in the 80s. Like I said, I still have research to do. But in anyway, he was in like a nursing home in Mount Holly, New Jersey. So
Okay.
my novel that I'm writing is this coming of age story for this young awkward girl. We'll call her Kayla because I don't have a creative bone in my body, so I couldn't go too far out of pocket. Anyway, but she winds up befriending this like old gay man who is one of the caretakers taking care of Jackie Wilson. And basically it's not really about Jackie Wilson as much as it's about the relationship between these two people and how they kind of come out of their own comas or their own like insecurities and how they kind of move on. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. But why Jackie Wilson? It could be just anybody in the coma if it's not really about Jackie Wilson.
Well, because I like Jackie Wilson and my heart
Okay.
is crying, crying, lonely teardrop. Jackie Wilson was the man. And you know who paid all of his hospital bills?
Elvis.
Oh, you knew that. Okay. Yeah.
I knew that.
And
Yes. I'm a
do
I'm
you
a
know who
pop
paid
culture. You know why I know that? I'm
what?
because I'm a pop culture kid and that's my job.
Do you know who paid for his funeral? Dick Clark. Anyway, just
I
but
did. I knew that, but didn't come to me. Yeah, I heard
but I
that one
kind
too.
of but again, that's the story that's kind of been living in my head for a couple years, and I figure, hey, I have a month to try to flesh out the story because who knows, it could be, it could be interesting.
You know, you could base if you want to use Jackie Wilson, you could base it around the fact that apparently he was broke.
Well, again, I was using Jackie Wilson only because I'm such a big fan, and as you know, our mother had a piece of his tie that was ripped off during a concert in the 50s that she used to talk about.
Really, I didn't know that. I
Uh,
didn't know
uh,
Mom had a piece of her.
he,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
again, who knows where it is now, but that was something like a story from childhood or from lore. But in any case, the whole premise of this um, story is, the child coming from like, a big city, Philadelphia, moving to this small town, Mount Holly, which again, not totally autobiographical, but some of the same elements. And I don't know, it's just this story that has been floating in my head. And I figure, hey, let's use this challenge month to kind of get the story out, flesh it out, and see if it goes anywhere. If I can tell the
I
story I
guess
want to
if
tell.
you made it a play, you had to hire an actor that would have to lay there throughout the whole play.
Well, no, there's ways you can do it. You can work
Okay,
around
because
it.
because if I was that actor, I would fall asleep.
Although it would, although it would be cool
Mhm.
if uh, you know the kind of movies that I really enjoy are the kind of movies that kind of take you out of the movie. Like, for instance, did you ever see the movie Stranger Than Fiction?
No, I don't think I have seen that one.
It stars Will Ferrell. Queen Latifah and Emma Thompson. It is worth a watch. Or have you seen Being John Malkovich?
No, I was going to see it, but
Okay.
I didn't
It,
watch it. But you
it
know what? I just came up with something. The old
okay.
guy that's watching him,
Mm-hmm.
he could tell Jackie Wilson stories because he's a caretaker that knew Jackie Wilson.
Oh, that could be good. Well, again,
And
and
then you can have the character tell a story, and then the person who's playing Jackie Wilson can be like, he could do a flashback where the person playing Jackie Wilson can do something, you know,
I, well, that was part of
before the
what I
coma.
right. Part of what I was thinking is
Yeah.
that at pivotal moments in the story that you would actually kind of flash back to a Jackie Wilson moment, but it wouldn't necessarily be his life story. I wasn't trying to necessarily study him. I just wanted to use him because I love the music so much and I love him. And again, that whole story or that whole idea of I, I don't know. It's a work in progress. Please don't steal my idea if you're listening. Or if you want to make it better or help me with it, by all means, IMB. Let's see. Let's go to a few comments before we get to the news, okay? So Lisa is tuned in. Hi, fam. How are
Hey,
you?
Lisa.
Hope you are being blessed tonight. Let's see. Oh, you could do a one man show who sits center stage while actors mimic the story he's telling. That would be cool. Hmm. See,
Yeah,
now
and
now
Dion
the
is
more
back. We haven't
input I
seen Dion
hear,
in
I'm
ages.
I'm I'm thinking maybe, c- and part of it is I was reading a play that a friend sent me, and I I have thoughts, and I haven't finished the play yet, but because and Friday we took some kids to see like spooky ghost stories at a local theater, a community theater. And what was cool is I'm sitting in the audience and I'm looking, I'm like, oh wait, I know that dude. And of course, it was two of the people that I worked on my last production at Hickory Community Theater were actually
Okay, nice,
actors
nice,
in the show.
nice.
I'm like, oh wait, that's Ethan. Oh wait, that's Katie. I know these people. I've worked with them.
That's nice.
So
Let's go.
so that's what gave me the idea of, well, maybe I don't need to write a novel. I need to write a stage play because that's something I'm a little more closely aligned to. And you know what else is interesting? There's actually a Mount Holly, North Carolina, so that is even more
Oh,
confusing.
really? Didn't know
Yes.
that. Didn't know that.
It's not quite like the
I
Morristown,
also
Morrisville, but there
Yeah,
is
I
one.
also wanna note that, Dion is back. We haven't seen Dion here in a while.
All right.
So, hey,
That's pretty
Dion, how
cool.
you doing?
That's pretty cool.
And we're gonna go on right to pop culture news.
Oh, okay. Pop culture news. I still got to get like a soundbite for that pop culture
Yeah, yeah, you
news.
gotta get something for that. Yeah, new
I
pop
gotta get
culture.
some.
Yeah.
I,
Um, it's the
I
50th
put it on my
anniversary.
to do list.
Okay, Imma finish this thought. It's the 50th anniversary of Bohemian
Rocky
Rhapsody.
Horror Picture Show. Oh,
No, it's the 50th anniversary of Bohemian Rhapsody.
oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
Is it the 50th anniversary of Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I believe so. And since it was
Okay.
just Halloween, I don't know. Did you trick or treat with George and
No.
the kids?
Yes, I trick or treated. I sent it. Did I send you a picture?
I did not
I
get a
didn't send you a
picture.
picture.
You didn't
I
send
got
me a picture.
I trick or treated with George and the kids.
You
They was
probably
all
posted
wars
it
and
to
I was Mr.
you probably
Maestro again.
posted it to social media, but you didn't send it to your sister. So God bless.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
Oh, let's see. I know
And
you went as Mr. Maestro, but what did the kids dress up
they
as?
they were Star Wars characters.
Oh, quite cool, cool, cool.
George is quite
Indoctrinating
proud of
them
his.
early.
Yes. Yeah, yes, we are indoctrinated. Well, look, when Milo was like 2, I got him a Batman bed.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
So
all about it.
all in.
Yeah.
It's like
So,
Father, like Geek, or
uh,
what was the name of your podcast
yeah,
you did with George?
our podcast George and I had was like nerd like son.
Like Nerd, like Son. Okay, yeah.
Also, I have something else for the news
Oh, you
that
didn't
I
tell me.
saw. I didn't tell you. And
Did you put it on the
no, I didn't even put it on. I just have it in front of me right now.
okay.
Billie Eilish.
Okay.
Billie Eilish. Wednesday was at a WSJ Magazine Innovator Awards show.
Mhm.
And I guess she won an award or something, but she gave a speech. Um, and pretty much in her speech, um, she said, I love you all, but there are a few people here with a lot more money than me. If you're a billionaire, why are you a millionaire? Why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. And it was noted that she donated 11.5 million from a Hit Me Hard and Soft album to charity.
Oh, nice.
And she said this with Mark Zuckerberg in the room.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg. That's it. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. She said it with like a billionaire in the room. Like, if you're a billionaire,
Hey, putting your
share
money
your
where your
money.
mouth is. Put your
Yeah.
money where your mouth is. And if
That
I
that that took a lot. I'm not a big Billie Eilish fan,
no,
but that took a lot of guts.
no, yeah, that was pretty bold. And right now, though, if you need to put your money somewhere, I would say put it towards relief agencies and organizations that are actually doing the work to help people in Cuba, Haiti, and Jamaica. One of our teachers that, and again, because there is this crisis, especially in North Carolina, with finding qualified educators, we have had to go to other countries, including Jamaica. And I did a training this week at another school, and there were like two of the teachers in the back. They were paying me no rabbit ass mind. And when I went back, when we were doing different things during the training and people were talking, and I went back, that's because they had their phones and they were just watching the destruction in Jamaica because that's where they're from. That's their home. And I'm like, I get it. And, and they were looking at pictures of places where there used to be roads and it was just, like
Wow.
over the top of my house level water. It was just crazy.
Woo.
Anyway, we have a teacher from Jamaica, and her father passed away a couple of weeks ago. She actually went back last week for his funeral and those services, and uh, we were able to text with her. Our um, financial secretary was texting her back and forth, but after what was that, Hurricane Maria, or not Maria,
I don't
Melissa.
know which hurricane it was called. I
Melissa.
don't know what
After
it was called.
Melissa hit, I guess a lot of the cell towers were down, but none of the texts have gone through. So we have not heard from her, and I don't even know if the airport is open. I just am sending prayers and hoping that she's okay and that all is well. And I think the last text she was feeling okay because she figured, she had a pretty sturdy house and built for hurricanes and that kind of thing. But again, this category 5, nobody expected it. So, all right, that's enough of my delve into the news. But yeah, uh, I can appreciate what Billie Eilish did, and again, it's a shame that for us being one of the richest, allegedly richest countries in the world, that so many people have to rely on things like SNAP benefits. And what's going on is kind of ridiculous that there are people with billions and millions of dollars, and yet there are people who go hungry at night. But I digress, and I will get off my soapbox, and we can talk about tonight's
Yeah,
topic. Why don't you?
you've been on your soapbox. You've been on your soapbox for like 20 minutes. I've been sitting here doing nothing. You've been on your soapbox for like 20 minutes. I've been sitting here doing nothing.
I've been in my
I
my writing world, my book
Yeah,
world.
yeah. Yeah.
playing with the camera
I, I'm I'm I'm
I'm just
I'm in the
having
real
fun.
world where I'm a government employee. I'm in the real world where I'm a government employee working for free.
I know, and
So
it's ridiculous.
So we're going to
But
tell you about what tonight's show is about. Tonight's show is about movies that make you cry. Now, let me get this straight. I didn't cry in any of these movies because Daddy don't cry.
oh
Daddy
please,
don't cry.
oh
I don't cry.
please,
You know, I know. You know, the last time I cried.
when?
The last time I cried was 1996 when Pop Pop passed away.
And so there's not a movie that will make you cry,
I felt a little verklempt on the inside. A little verklempt. I don't,
but you don't cry.
Now, Daddy don't cry.
Who comes up with this? All right, hey, why don't you let us know in the comments what is a movie that made you cry? I think you put some of the movies because I put a Facebook post out there. I know you put a Facebook post out there, and I see some of the movies on the list are from that post. As Kenny always
Mhm.
says, we only have an hour. So is it every tear jerky movie? No. I know one of the movies on this list, and it's towards the high end of this list. I distinctly remember being in the theater and with my friends Michelle and Robin from high school and
Yeah.
and
And I
and
know
life.
that movie, and I really didn't cry at that movie.
And
But we're
oh
going to
my,
start the list off.
oh my God, how could you not have cried at that movie?
I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I didn't cry.
I
So we're
didn't
going to
cry
start
at
the
this
list off.
movie.
Now, now I put this movie on because I wanted, and I put these first two movies are on this list because I wanted to do a movie where no one cried when no one died in order to make you cry.
Now this, The Return of
Because
the King was the,
a lot of these movies, somebody died to make you cry. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. And I was talking about this with my son.
now
There's a scene in this. Let me say it to you.
is this the final movie in the trilogy?
Yes,
Okay.
it's the final movie, Return of the King. There's a scene in this movie where you see the four hobbits standing there, and the king is there, and he's been fighting with them all through all three movies. He's been fighting with them, and he was the one that saved the day. Yes, Vigo. And at the end, well, the ending was so long in this movie. But at one point, after they defeated all the bad guys and they're victorious and they crowned him king and everything, the four hobbits sit there and their friend walks up to them. Now he's king, and they start to kneel. And he says, "Stand, my friends, do not kneel. You kneel for no one." And the king kneels, the queen kneels, and then everybody kneels. And the hobbits are just standing there. Now, here's the point of this that makes you tear up a little bit, that hits you right in the feels. Here's the point of this. Throughout the movie, the hobbits were treated like dirt throughout the whole movie. Everybody underestimated them. Everybody treated them like crap. The hobbits, couldn't fight and this, that, and the other. They were underestimated throughout the whole the whole trilogy. They were underestimated. And then the king realized that without these four hobbits, they would not have won the battle. And that's why he said, "You kneel for no man." And the king kneeled, and everybody kneeled because these hobbits are looking around like, "What the hell's going on?" And it's like the respect. So that kind of nobody,
So that got you in your feels. Because again, Daddy don't
remember,
cry.
Daddy don't cry, but it did get me in the feels. Next one is Furious 7.
I knew this one would make the list. And
So Furious 7,
I
none of the main cast died in this, really. But this was the last appearance of Paul Walker, who died in real life. And they used his brother and they used AI to put Paul Walker in that last scene because they didn't kill the character of Brian off. Um, excuse me. They didn't kill Brian's character off. But what had happened was, you know, they kind of wrote the character off by saying like he's going to raise his family and we're going to go keep doing adventures. And Vin Diesel's character gets in his car, he drives off, and then Brian drives up to him and is like, "You're going to leave without saying goodbye?" And of course, it's an AI, you can tell. And they drive off. They race down the street, and his car goes this way, and Vin Diesel's car goes this way, and Brian's car, Paul Walker's car, goes off into like nowhere, and it's kind of like, and you hear the song. It's been a
Oh yeah,
long way to see
yeah.
you again,
It's
and
it's the song
it
that gets you, that makes
it's a song
that
again because in real
that pulls
life
out the
the
that pulls
guy's
out the
dead.
right. It's the song that pulls out the tears in people.
Yeah, yeah, and and the way Vin Diesel's character is, the way Dom is looking at him is like you could tell Vin Diesel's thinking like, in real life, my friend Paul is dead,
Hmm.
or Pablo, as Vin Diesel calls him in real life.
Hmm.
Next, we have Armageddon. There's two parts of
Well,
Armageddon.
okay. Before we go to the next one, uh, for those who are here, I would just like to say thanks for hanging out with us. This is Pop Culture Kids with Kathy and Kenny. You can reach us at kathyandkenny.com. We appreciate it. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. If you can give us that thumbs up, that really helps our channel. Any comments you make on this video, either now during the live or even afterwards, uh, really helps us out as well. We appreciate you for being here. Thanks so much for hanging with us on a Sunday night.
Now,
Armageddon.
there's two
And
parts
can
to
I
Armageddon.
say something?
Go ahead, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
think not just with the last movie, Fast and Furious, but also Armageddon, that part of what makes it such a tearjerker, or that gets people, are the songs that go with it, like the Aerosmith song
Yeah,
in this one, and the Charlie Puth song in the Fast and Furious, or Furious 7. I think that is what pulls out the waterworks in people. That even when you
yeah.
hear those
Well,
songs, you think of these moments in the movies.
there were two parts in here that kind of made put me in my feels. The one part is when they were all getting on the rocket to go up, and there was one character who was estranged from his son, and his baby mama. And when he came to see his son, the son didn't know who he was. And the mom said, "That's a salesman." And then when they're getting on the ship to rescue the planet, the son says, "Mom, there's that salesman." And she goes, "That's not a salesman. That's your daddy." As a father, that hit me right here. And
But
then
you
the
didn't
president was
cry.
giving this big speech. Yeah, Daddy didn't cry, but it hit me. And the president's giving a speech. And then at the end, when Bruce Willis was escorting Ben Affleck's character down to make the sacrifice, Bruce Willis like hits him and makes the sacrifice himself and knocks him out. And Ben Affleck wakes up and he's like banging on the doors, like, "Don't do this," and like, "I love you, I love you." And a guy telling the guy he loves him because he's about to die, and everything that kind of gets you in the feels too. So
So that got you in your feels.
yeah. Next we have Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. You know,
Now when
there's two crying moments to me, and it's not really a crying moment, but I think, and again, tied to music. That's why I think my story had to revolve around Jackie Wilson. There's something about the power of music, but when you hear
music,
those chords of the five stair steps and Ooh Child, and you don't really cry, but it does. It hits some of your feels. That whole kind of
well,
coming of age moment, but you really.
When Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah, when Cuba Gooding Jr. turns around, he realizes what's going to happen,
Mhm.
and he sees
More
Morris Chestnut's character.
Morris
I
Day,
know Morris Day.
Morris Chestnut.
Yeah,
That's
Morris
two
Chestnut. Yeah,
different kinds of Morris. Now,
yeah, I
don't be
know.
getting that.
Yeah,
Don't get it
when he sees
twisted.
Morris Chestnut, yeah, when he sees Morris Chestnut characters, it's like oblivious to what's about to happen, and he turns around and goes, Ricky! And then Ricky turns around, he starts to run, and they shoot Ricky. And Ricky was the one person out of the group that was totally good and had a future.
Mm.
And then Ice Cube and Cuban Gooding, they bring him home. He's on the couch, he's bleeding. The mother's blaming Ice Cube. And like, what did you do? This is all your fault, and yada yada yada. And this that so Ricky dies. So when Ricky dies, that's
That I think when the first time I saw it, I, I'm trying to think. I don't know whether I cried or not. And you know what? There was a movie that I definitely cried. I mean, I ugly cried, and you did not put it on the list. And I
what
feel a certain kind of way. Antoine Fisher, and I don't know whether I cried because also too the movies where I
you know
did
what you
read
know
the
what
book.
I've never seen Antoine Fisher.
Oh my oh my goodness. You need to see Antoine Fisher.
Look.
Oh
We
my,
only have
I
we only
can't even with you, Kenny. I can't even. The list is too long. The list is too long. Now, here, let's hit up some of the comments before we go on to the next one on the list because we'll get real far behind if I don't hit some of these comments. For Megan, hey, thanks for hanging with us. For me, it was when Pippin was singing that song, the scene you're talking about made me feel prideful for them. Oh wait, what movie is that?
I tell okay. I know when people were singing the song, yeah, I get that part.
Which movie was that?
Eh,
Shh. Can, I, can,
that was Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay, all right. I was like, wait a minute, you lost me. So
I think
just catch me up because
was that the second one, Megan, or the third one when Pippin was singing?
because
I don't know which one
Lord
that
of the
was.
Rings was so long ago. It was like I guess late 2000s because I actually remember this because for I think two of the three movies, we actually took our eighth graders to see the movie when we actually had a movie theater in Statesville. But yeah,
They're
let's
very
see.
long. You know what? You could spend a day doing Lord of the
All
Rings.
right. I think
Let's see the
that's
color
coming.
purple.
That's coming, and that is, I think, later on the list. So we're gonna hold
I
those
don't know what
comments.
part made you cry in color purple.
Oh, I saw the color purple. It made me blue. So yes, I cried. Now here is a
Okay.
question. Um, was that Ice Cube's first film? I
I
Was
don't know
Boys
what
in
that
the Hood his
was.
first film? Actually,
No,
that's a
I
good
was it
question.
Friday?
No, no, I don't think Friday and All About the Benjamins that wasn't until after Boys in the Hood. I don't know what his IMDb looks like. Um,
We're gonna find out right now.
all right, I was going to say I gotta Google it. IMDb. Where is my IMDb when I need it?
His first film was Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. Yeah. Okay. And
His first film was
Deanna's
Boys
saying
in the
she
Hood.
thinks it was the Two Towers.
It was in 2000. The Pippin singing was in 2000. You know that is a good full day of watching movies to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That
To
is a
watch
good
the
day
whole
of watching
thing.
movies. Yeah. So list. Next we have Cooley High.
Ah, Cooley High.
It's so hard to say
What?
goodbye to yesterday.
And again, is it so much the like? Because some of the, and again, it's just interesting that you put these two movies back to back, Boys in the Hood and Cooley High. Because if you think about it in a way, like Boys in the Hood is not to say it's a remake, but it is. It was the Cooley High of its time or of that period of time. But
Kind of sort of, yeah. Kind of sort of.
because Cooley High was this. even though it was made in the 70s, but it was this picture in the late 60s. But again, you had the same thing. The one member of the group that was,
I'm
that
gonna
had
tell you this
some.
about Cooley High. You know what always annoyed me about Cooley High?
What
If the
annoyed you about Cooley
teachers,
High?
if the teachers had a minded their own business, Cochise would still be alive.
Cochise. Oh man, Lawrence
Cochise
Hilton.
would still be alive if the teachers didn't get involved. I'm just
Lawrence Hilton
saying.
Jacobs. I'm sorry, but back in the day, if you got a Right On magazine with a Lawrence Hilton Jacobs centerfold, that thing went on the wall. I'm just saying. It didn't replace Michael, but it went on the wall. And I don't know. I guess Tiger Beat might have been the white girl equivalent, but they didn't have Lawrence Hilton Jacobs or Foster Silvers as the center. But I'm just saying, back in the day, back in the heyday of the Sweat Hogs.
Foster Silvers. You
But
you went back for that. Foster Silvers, you went back for that one. You reached
I'll
way
go
back
back.
for that one.
I'll go. I will hit the way back machine. But it is so interesting too that for some of these moments, how they are tied to music. Because as soon as we say Coolie High, you start singing "It's So Hard to Say
It's
Goodbye."
so
Most people
hard.
don't
You say
start
goodbye.
singing because that's just, yeah, that's a no go. Um, you
Wait. You started the show off by singing Jackie Wilson. And you want, you know what?
actually, you're not paying attention because I was singing Van Morrison. Van Morrison's
Okay.
Jackie Wilson said. "Du-du-du-du-du,
Okay.
du-du-du-du-du."
Okay. All right. We're going to go on to our next
Jackie
one,
Wilson
which is
said
Up.
it was repetit.
Up.
Up.
Up started you off from the door. Up started you off from the beginning to try to get into your feels. Because Up started off with a story about a man and a woman falling in love and the woman dying. And that, like,
That did make me
Up
cry.
started you with a tear in your eye.
Yeah.
They like funny, like, look, Up is like, look, we're gonna have fun with this, but we're gonna make you cry first.
Yeah, that started very sad. It was like,
We're gonna kill the wife
whoa.
first. We're gonna kill her off. We're gonna make this sad for the door. Um, so you're Up. But once again, Daddy didn't cry. Next we have Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. I don't know why
Now the
when
part about Schindler's List was probably there's a lot of different parts of Schindler's List because this is the Holocaust, of course. When you see the little girl's red dress and a pile of dead people, that kind of like makes you feel something. When you see and at the end, when he has to escape and all the Jewish prisoners give him help him escape and give him something, that ending alone was very heartfelt of these people because he did everything to try to save as many people as he could. I remember the scene where they said, "Well, we don't need the kids, so we're going to kill the kids, and we're going to get rid of the kids." And he's like, "I need the kids because I need their small hands to get into these little." He was making up stuff as he went along to save as many people as he could. So at the end, boom.
and it
Next
was
we
so
had, and it wasn't.
before can I say something about
Yeah,
it
go
or
ahead, go ahead,
no?
go ahead,
Because I
go
kind
ahead.
of thought it was my show too. I wanted to say for and please don't take this the wrong way. And I realized the movie brought a lot of attention to the Holocaust, but in a way, it reminds me of a film kind of like Hardball. It's like where you have to have like a savior or whatever, because the hero winds up. It's like all those basketball and baseball movies where the inner city kids need a white savior, so the Jewish people needed this. I don't know that that's just my hot take, and I could be wrong. But I also want to say, because doing these class trips with kids, I remember going to Washington D.C. was probably the last time I went, and probably one of the hardest trips I had there, because it was not on our agenda to visit the Pentagon Memorial, and evidently, the tour guide threw it in, kind of like he was giving us a bonus. And me personally, having lived through 9/11, I was not interested. I had not even visited Ground Zero at that point because emotionally I was not ready. And then to go there and have kids doing backflips at this memorial, because he had to take pictures of him doing backflips at all these different historical places, just felt like an insult. But I digress. I digress
Now,
again.
have you
But
been to Ground
the
Zero yet?
uh, I did when I did a bike ride, which with the 5 mile borough race around the five boroughs, or I'm sorry, it's not 5 miles, it's more than 5 miles, but it's around all the boroughs of New York, which I had done in March of 2001. And I did get to return there some 15, 16 years later. It starts down by Ground Zero. But the point I was making, this trip to Washington, D.C., in the same day, we got to visit the uh, African American Historical Museum. So, you're down in the basement of that museum, seeing like the slave ships and the different, um, just the way people were treated in this country and recent history. That's like the 60s, that's within my lifetime. And then after that museum, we were split in two groups. One group went to that museum, the other group went to the Holocaust Museum. Then we had to flip, and our group I went from seeing all this information about Black history in America to the Holocaust Museum. And they have this display, and it is nothing but shoes, like empty shoes. And like, I'm crying thinking about it now. It just, it, needless to say, that day kind of, I was like, I can't be a chaperone right now. I was just it's emotionally hard because you think, um, all those people who walked in those shoes were gone,
Mm.
and why? Be, because of hate, because of just one person not speaking up. Um, I don't. Okay, we're a pop culture show. Let's go on. You go with the
Yeah.
next thing on the list
Next
because
we have
I'm all in my
next we have
feels.
yeah,
This
you
show
are
is
in your
making me
feels tonight.
cry.
Next we have E.T.
Oh,
E.T., which nobody died in
phone
E.T.
home.
But
Uh,
E.T., I remember seeing E.T. in 1982.
Oh, this is
None of my friends
timely
wanted to
too
go.
because it has a Halloween
Yes.
scene.
Yes. I saw E.T. by myself in Echelon Mall when they had the theater there. And I was by myself. And I did feel a little, remember, even back then, I was like 16, 15, 16 years old. Even back then, daddy didn't cry. But I did feel a little verklempt on ET when he had to leave and everything else. And it was very emotional. ET was very like, dang it, what? Like, you know what? I didn't expect to get hit like this. I came to see an alien movie. Like, this is not what I wanted to see. And it kind of got me right in the air. Next, we have Beaches. And then we're talking about songs,
Oh yes.
Beaches. You
Oh,
ever know that
definitely.
you're my hero?
Oh, stop that.
You're everything I wanted to be.
Ouch. 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 Now,
But
and
there's a
again,
story
when we
of
when
two
we
girls.
both put this out on social media and asked our friends and our followers that are on Facebook, I think multiple times this movie came up for people
Yes.
that they cried.
Yes.
So yeah, you need that one relatable song, and basically somebody's got to die, and there
Yeah.
will be waterworks.
And it's a story of two
That's like
friends
the
who became
formula,
friends.
isn't it? Just about in all
Yeah,
these
that's the
movies.
formula. Somebody's got to die. That's why I try to find a couple of movies where no one died, like E.T., Furious 7, and Lord of the Rings. But in Beaches, you have two friends who become friends on the beach, and they become these good friends. They become these lifelong friends, and one gets incredibly famous,
That theme will come
and
up
one
again.
gets yeah, and one gets and one's like a regular housewife or whatever. And the one that died as a kid, and the one that's incredibly famous has to help raise his kid and takes care because they kind of break up their friendship, kind of gets messed up and breaks apart. And then when she's dying, they come together, and then she raises her kid, and she sings a song, and it's all like yeah. Next we have a
I can't
movie.
get. Do I get to say anything
Go
about the
ahead.
movie? Okay. 'Cause you give us a synopsis, you tell the plot, and then next we have, and I'm like, well, shit. Am
Okay,
I
I'm
here?
sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
I mean, I know I gotta switch the scenes, but
It's just that you're very emotional today,
I
and you keep getting on the soapbox and talking, and then you go off topic. So go ahead.
never mind.
No, go ahead.
That's
Okay.
all right.
Next, we have
Side
a
eye.
movie I've never seen. I've seen the end of this,
You've never
but
seen
I
this
don't know what the
movie?
crime. No, it's two old people who die together. I don't understand it.
Well, isn't that like the most romantic way to go to die with your partner? I don't know. And you've spent like 2 hours invested in these people watching this love story, and yeah, it's cheesy. You know what's going to happen, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I'm such a Jenna Rollins fan. I Especially in her later work, I
So
think she could do no
cheesy,
wrong.
stink.
It's
So
cheesy,
cheesy,
but
it stink.
I don't know whether I got to the ugly cry point with that movie, but I think it is. I think it's a tearjerker. It's worth it. Oh, next, this is the ultimate. Please let me talk on this one.
Go ahead, talk on this one. 'Cause I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen Imitation of Life?
I've
Oh,
never seen
please
The Invitation
put
Life.
Imitation of Life in the chat, people, if you think Kenny needs to go watch this movie. Imitation of Life.
I
Now, actually, there's two versions. There's the one with Claudette Colbert and Louise Beavers, and that was like the original version. And also, the remake is probably more popular, and most people know the remake because it has Sandra D and what is it? Janet Lee. I can't remember who was in it. Anyway, Imitation of Life, and we talked about beaches where they met on the beach, and actually in this movie, and I pulled the scene too, where you have two single mothers raising their daughters, and they meet on the beach, and of course the one becomes the uh, ho- um, housemaid or the maid of the other, but she has a little daughter who's very fair skinned and winds up passing for white, and just this whole story, and she goes on passing for white till her mother dies. So she finally, yeah, the big funeral scene. Mahalia Jackson is singing. There's not a dry eye in the place, and then the girl finally comes
See, no,
around,
okay, now
and
that's different. Now look, you can't have a funeral scene and have Mahalia Jackson sing and
you're
people not
gonna
cry.
cry.
That's
Come on.
that's that. I mean, that's a cheat. That's a cheat right there. That's a cheat.
That's yeah. That's
Back in the day, yeah, Mahalia Jackson singing at the funeral, you're gonna cry. I mean, you got no choice. You got Mahalia Jackson singing. That's a cheat.
that yeah. That is definitely gonna happen. But Imitation of
Next
Life, a lot
year,
of people cite that
yeah,
movie
I got. You know
as
what?
the
I had to see that movie because your mother suggested that movie also.
okay. It's definitely a tearjerker.
Okay, next we have Still Magnolias.
Ah, don't tell me you never saw this one either.
I saw this one, and I don't see how you wanted to put this on this list. I don't see how you cried.
Sally Field's speech. Sally Field's speech at the cemetery. I'm sorry if you don't cry till you start laughing. You're just not human. What is that?
I
I
guess I'm
thought
not
that
human.
was a great speech, and maybe again I'm
No,
partial because I got to do a community theater production of Steel Magnolias, so I'm a little partial because you get to actually uh, when you get to feel the source material and uh, which the original play was the source material, and I believe the writers of that play were some of the people behind uh, Golden Girls and another show I did called the Dixie Swim Club. But in any case, I don't know. I have a soft spot for it, and yeah, I just I just love it because Sally Field's giving this big emotional speech at the graveyard scene, and then the Weezer character kind of cuts it with some laughter, and it's just I'm not Weezer. I forgot Clary kind of cuts it with humor, and to me that was always one of the fun things about comedy is that you could say some serious stuff and do it behind comedy and have fun with it. So yeah, Steel Magnolia is definitely on the list. Your mother probably would put that one on the list. Come on.
Yeah, she was. Next we have My Girl. Now, My
Okay.
Girl,
Did
it
you
was
see
kind of
this one?
sad I saw this one. It was kind of sad when he died, but it wasn't cry worthy because the boy was stupid. You knew you was allergic to bees. Why was you there in the first place? You kind of deserved to die. That's all I'm saying. It didn't make me cry. I looked at that movie and I said, "This kid is stupid."
Uh, this one I didn't get. Next on the list.
Hate You Give. I seen the. I put this on the list because I think this movie should have won an award that year that it was made. It did not even get mentioned. The Hate You Give made you laugh, made you cry. There was so many moments of this movie that hit you in the feels that make you cry. And I remember seeing this movie with my friend Kamini, her daughter, and Kiana McKenzie and Olivia. They were all crying, but Daddy didn't cry.
I
I saw it with a bunch of women, and they were all crying, but Daddy didn't cry.
I don't know whether I would
It did
even put
make
this.
me feel. It did. There was some scene like the scene at the end where the brother is holding the gun and they're trying to stop the brother. They're trying to stop the cops from killing the brother.
Yeah, I read the source material and I read the book, so I guess I'm coming at it from a different place. So I think I knew what was going to happen, so therefore it didn't trigger emotion, and it almost seemed like it was a little too forced. So I don't even think this one would make the list. But since you had actual people
Yeah.
who you went to the theater with who did cry, yeah, I probably wouldn't be putting this on the list. Just to be candid.
Okay. Well, next we have Bambi. Apparently, everybody cried when the mother died.
How could you not? If
It's
a
a
cartoon
deer.
like again, this is our second cartoon on the list. Up definitely brought some tears. I think I had more tears for Up than I did for Inside Out. Although Inside Out made me think, it didn't make me really cry. But Bambi
Yeah,
was
I didn't
like
cry
it was
inside out.
original. It was I mean, well, maybe short of Kimba the White Lion, but that wasn't really a movie. It was a TV series. But yeah, how could you
Now,
it's
Kevin
like
the
that
White Lion
classic.
just annoyed me. Kevin the White Lion annoyed me because I'm like, every episode I got to hear about your dad dying. Like, really? Really?
Um,
Let
what
it go.
runs in your veins? Is it
Oh.
ice
Next, we
or
have
just
Old Yeller.
vodka?
Old Yeller.
Okay.
I guess everybody cried like they said on Stripes. Everybody cried when Old Yeller died.
I don't know whether I've ever seen Old Yellow. I
I
might
don't
not
know
have
if I've
seen this
seen
one.
it, but I know I probably wouldn't cry. If it's a dog with that's rabid and has to be put down, you put the dog down. Don't cry about it.
Okay. I, I don't it. Old Yellow is one of those things. It's part of like pop culture mythology, and I probably did see it because I remember seeing parts of it. I don't
Yeah,
remember it as
yeah.
vividly, like the whole story,
As
the
vivid,
whole
yeah,
through line
yeah.
story. I remember like a movie like Sounder that kind of made me cry,
Mm,
but again,
yeah. I didn't cry at
child of the
Sounder. I don't think I
'70s.
cried at Sounder. Um, your father, when I said "Oh Yella," your father said we should put the movie where the boy cries to Shane. Shane, come back,
Shane,
Shane.
come back,
And me and your
Shane.
mother looked at me and mom looked at him like, nah, nah.
Well,
And
we
your
don't
mother
show
goes,
movie clips because
why am I crying about some little white boy country yelling at some cowboy riding away? Like, why am I crying over that? So anyway, next we have, I want to let you talk about this. Next we have The Color Purple.
The Color Purple. I saw The Color
Because I
Purple
didn't
and made
cry in
me
The Color
blue.
Purple.
What? You
I
didn't
didn't
cry?
cry in The Color Purple.
Oh,
No.
okay. All right.
What am I crying over? Tell
Okay.
me what I'm crying over.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just mute you for a minute because The Color Purple. Tell me this movie does not bring out your feels. You get your feels a couple different times. There are totally different feel moments. You get your feels when Celie finally asserts her independence. You get your feels when they first split apart and you're like all emotional. But at the end, at the very end, when they are playing in the oh my god, when they're finally reunited, I I remember being at the Malton Theater, AMC Malton, and I saw this movie with Michelle and Robin, and we were sitting in the theater, and I think it was around the holidays because we were all home, we're all back, and I don't think we were in college by then. We had all you know we're moving on in life, and we were sitting in the theater. It was so bad. I don't know who was it. Robin had the tissues. She was just passing down tissues because we were bawling like babies. We were
In 85, you guys were in college because I was in college.
okay. Yeah.
And you
Well,
guys
we
a
were
few years
home.
ahead of me.
We were home, and we were watching The Color Purple. And I tell you what, because that is what I think most of our comments
I
were about The Color Purple. When the sisters get back together, as a sister with four sisters, that really touched me. I love my sisters, and one is in heaven, and I miss her. But oh my gosh, when they are reunited, and the kids, kissy boo boo, mama, mama. Oh, I, how could Daddy has to cry? Come on, how could you not cry
Daddy did
at
not
at the
cry.
Color
Daddy did not cry.
Purple? Oh, how
Daddy, you
could
know
you
what Daddy liked
not?
about The Color Purple? Daddy liked the part where the band was like, looking at is like, oh, gotta go. When they were about to fight. Daddy liked that part. That was funny.
No, I mean The Color Purple had
Daddy
its
liked that
funny
part.
moments. It did.
And when
It,
Lawrence Fishburne was
but
like, Miss Sophie, don't. And she hit the go like, yo, that part was. I ain't seen my kids. I
oh, when she started rocking back
ain't
and forth.
oh, Sophie,
Oh,
Sophie here now. Oh yeah,
oh,
pass
Sophie
me the
home
greens.
now.
We need some stability around here.
You better get a control of your woman.
You want to let her talk to you like that, boy? You know, I got my buddy Mike.
Yeah.
Whenever I say something stupid, my buddy Mike always does the line from Color Purple because he gets off the phone and he goes, "Bye, Paul. Bye, Paul." Whenever I'm about to say something, he goes, "Bye, Paul. Bye, Paul." And I was like, okay, man,
that
you know
that
what?
be the times you like. I would have put this movie, I think, at number one. Um, yeah, but I guess, and here's the thing too, the Color Purple, and we're talking about the 1985 original Color Purple, not that musical
Not that
mess.
musical thing, not that musical remix crap.
No, that ain't it. That ain't it. And I'm sorry. I didn't like it on Broadway. I didn't like it in
The
the
worst
theaters. I'm
musical
sorry.
ever.
Worst musical
The worst
ever.
musical ever.
Yeah. And you know, Well, you cannot judge the worst musical ever if your favorite musical is Grease too. But that is another story for another day. We will not digress.
Wow.
Ouch!
Wow. Ow. Take it out my back. Take it out my back. Take it out my back.
You will live.
Bam. Right on the back of my head. Okay.
Well, I don't have a slap. I don't have a slap back. Oh, I'm sorry. That was button. In case I
What's that?
need.
Megan was saying the bad color purple was the musical color purple that came out a couple of years ago. The good color purple is the one that Whoopi Goldberg in. Whoopi Goldberg, who's number 2 of my Hollywood hottest female list.
And Oprah Winfrey, the original color purple, is the best color purple. So just don't get it twisted. Now, we only have an hour, and at the top of the hour, and at the top of the list, what song did you put that makes you
Movie,
cry?
not
Ugly
song.
cry. I'm sorry, what song? What
Brian's song.
that
Brian's
has to be
song
like the original
with
Tearjerker.
James Caan and Billy D. Williams,
Con.
with the story of Brian Piccolo and Gail Sayers. Brian Piccolo, of course, passed away. Gail Sayers, who's still with us, I believe Gail Sayers is still with us, was his best friend, and
Children
it's a
also
whole
off.
movie about them being friends and Brian Piccolo passing away.
What was?
And
Do
that
you
was probably
remember the
like,
year of this movie? Was it like
I do not
75?
remember the year of Brian's song. Yeah, I think it was like 73, 75.
Okay.
Because that's a very young Billy D.
Oh yeah. I think that was like
That's,
pre like Mahogany Billy D, right?
yeah, that was pre-Mahogany Billy D.
That was some old school Billy
It's
D.
1971.
Oh wow. 1971. Wow. But Brian's
1971. So
song,
that was definitely.
that was one was that a movie, a theatrical release or a TV movie? Cuz for some reason that to me seems like it was a TV movie and not a theatrical release, which is a little different because
Um,
everything else on our list was theatrical release. But I think Brian's song was a
uh,
TV movie, if I'm not mistaken.
no, Brian's song was a theatrical release.
Hmm. This is when we need Ed the most.
I know.
We need
I
Ed tonight.
know.
Ed usually can check our facts for us. But Deanna's saying, yep,
It's
it was
released on November
71.
the 30th of 1971.
Uh-huh.
Um, Brian's song. Oh no, it was a TV movie, ABC movie of the week that accounts the
See?
life of Brian Piccolo, and a Chicago Bear football player, stricken with terminal cancer, focusing on his friendship with teammate Gail Sayers.
Okay.
Piccolo and Sayers, sharply differing temperaments and racial backgrounds, made them
I'm sorry, Kenny.
unlikely to
I know
become
you're
friends.
I know you're talking, but I gotta interrupt this because right now you're reading. I gotta interrupt this broadcast because this comment needs to go big. It needs to go viral. Just take a look. Kathy's right. That's all.
Kathy's right about what? What is Kathy right about?
When I said it was not a
Dion,
theatrical release, but it was.
Dion, you're supposed to be my friend, which means you agree with me no matter what. You don't say Kathy's right. Dion, I am a victim of disappointment. I'm just saying that right now.
When you're right, you're right. Okay. I see. So that kind of so technically on our list as far as theatrical releases, because everything was a theatrical release except the number one movie, that would push The Color Purple up to the number one spot. Kathy's right. Kathy's right. Kathy's right. Yeah. All right, just facts. Just facts. Hey, we're just having fun. It's Sunday night, and thank you for finding us. So that means that you did fall back and got your clocks back, and well, most of them, because that one on the stove, you'll change it next week. Um, once you figure out how to do it. But we are so happy to be back, to have you back with us. Kenny, what are we talking about next week?
Next week, I would like to talk about the movies that
Movies again?
actors regret making.
Ah, the movies that actors regret making. All right. So
Yes.
so it's
Because as much as I
the
love
Phoebe
Grease
Snow
2,
show.
as much as I love Grease 2, Michelle Pfeiffer regrets making that movie.
And so she should. So it's the
No,
Phoebe
she shouldn't. That
Snow
was that
No
was
Regrets
that was like
show.
one of the best Michelle. That was one of the best Michelle Pfeiffer vehicles you could have. Grease 2.
I beg to differ. Sorry. No. Fabulous Baker Boys, possibly. Um, Married to the Mob, even. Yes.
That
Grease
was like
2.
Boys wasn't that bad.
No. I think
That
Fabulous. I would put that as one of her best performances over Grease 2.
really. I don't know. Maybe I would put Hollywood Nights.
Yikes. All right. Well, you know what? To do a podcast these days, anybody can do a podcast. Taste, evidently, not a requirement.
Dion!
But
Grease
having
2
fun.
is horrid. What are you talking about? Dion!
It's
You're supposed to be my
unwatchable.
people. What are you?
Unwatchable.
I'm so not talking to
And
you no more,
I
Dion.
I hate musicals, but that's just God. Let's see. Let's go. Let's hit the comment button so I can actually see these. I gotta make them big because I'm old and I can't see. So the guy who played Garth from Wayne's World regretted doing The Master of Disguise.
That was a horrible
But
movie. That
but
was a horrible movie.
do they regret it because it didn't make them money, or do they regret it because it wasn't their best work?
No, some
See,
of them regret it because it wasn't the best performance.
because in
Some of them knew
hindsight,
it was a bad script.
because in
Like
hindsight,
George Clooney knew Batman was a bad script.
But in hindsight, you could say, you could say when it doesn't perform well, oh, yeah, I regret doing that. But to me, if you take a role, you commit to it, and you put yourself in it and put it out there, and no, it doesn't do well, or your performance is bad, maybe the director's not guiding you the way you need to be, then you shouldn't be regretting that because you took the
Like
money
Halle
for it.
Berry. Well, some of these people do scripts and do roles that they're contracted to do with a
That's
studio for
true.
obligations.
Oh,
So
no.
like
No.
Halle Berry knew Catwoman was a bad script.
Okay. But, and
And
part of it
in nerd
too.
culture, Catwoman's considered one of the worst movies.
Oh, I can believe it. But part of it too is that in order to get like an actor to do like in order to get like Brad Pitt for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, then his agents or whatever might have to commit like, Michelle Pfeiffer to Grease 2 or some other movies in order to make a deal on another bigger blockbuster movie, if that makes sense. So a lot of that kind of
Yeah.
almost like it's a form of human trafficking, if you ask me. Almost like a trade and barter system for what actor we
Yeah,
can get
exactly.
to be in this or to be in that. Or if you have a 3 picture deal and you don't get approval to say what 3 pictures that you want to do, then hey, you just got to do it. It was
Yeah, and
pistachio
I
character
saw
he
an article
couldn't
today.
stand. And how do you think
Okay,
Bill Murray
because
felt
one
about
character
Garfield?
matches. Really? I didn't know he didn't like that. Bill Murray didn't like doing Garfield.
Well, I'm just wondering because I know I guess it didn't do well, but who knows?
No, well, some movies don't do well, but some actors, as they're doing the movie, as they're making the movie, it's like, this is gonna suck.
All right, so that's what we'll be talking about next week. So for this week, folks, be safe out there. And as always, in parting, we're going to wish you love, peace, and pop culture.
God bless your soul and keep living peace.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.
Sister and brother rocking the flow, sharing all the things you need to know. Kathy and Kenny always in the mix. Pop culture fun fix to fix. Pop culture kids podcast crew. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone. Sit for